is Olivia and I'm the artist behind Darumaru, and I thought we'd have a nice cozy just chill art hangout as I prepare some of my custom Pokemon cards. These are cards that I design and create myself, including these ones back here. We have 4 sheets to cut and put together today, so I thought that'd be kind of just fun to chill, hang out. Let's also, like always, light a candle. This is coconut honey. This is a new one. I have not lit it yet, so we can go ahead and do that. I also finally was able to fill up my Prince lighter. I got the wrong fuel for it, so it took a little extra time, but I was able to figure it out. So let's go ahead and light this. There we go. I'll just put that off to the side. Maybe a little farther since we're working with paper today. So again, I have 4 sheets, and I will put that off to the side as well. I also have my energy cards that I use to put on these like stickers. It's a vinyl paper, and we just need to get them ready. So those are all ready. I think I have enough. If not, I have plenty more downstairs, which I'm sure people who've watched my openings know that I have quite a bit of bulk probably lying around and stuff. So, but anyway, this set is particularly, this is the second set I'm doing of 12, and they kind of have like all a theme. It's like very much like ground Pokemon type of thing, with also a lot of like abstract kind of shapes that I wanted to include. So you might see some of that. I also did a promo here as well of the new stars. I thought that that would be really fun. So this is not a set within this. It has its own like little promo, and it's the 4th promo I've done. So just thought I'd show you guys that. There's a lot of thought and energy put into each card, and including like the moves and stuff like that. And I can talk more about that in a bit. I'm just gonna cut these up so they're a little bit easier. I think let's cut all 4 sheets, you know, so it's all manageable. I don't know about you guys, but today is like the 1st or 2nd really sunny, warmish day that we have had in a very long time, and it's actually amazing. I'm so happy about it, and I feel like a person again. And I don't know, to be quite frank, sometimes I feel like I had a little bit of seasonal depression, a little depressy-bessy visited, and I feel like I was gaslighting myself a little bit, being like, oh, it's probably not that, you're just probably stressed from all the stuff that you are doing. You know, you work at 9 to 5, you also obviously have my art business. I always want to create something new, my new YouTube channel, you know, and also just in general being more present and aware with social media, because there's a very specific way that I want to go about it. I don't want to seem too sales pitchy or too advertising, but I also want to have fun with it, while also, though, since I am a graphic designer, I know a lot about branding and stuff, while also making sure I remain kind of on brand so I'm not confusing to people. So it's just kind of a lot to think about. I've obviously been trying to get Poketo figured out. I have decided to go with a Kickstarter, which is really cool. It's my first time ever doing a Kickstarter, or honestly even like engaging with it as well. Like I've never been a backer or anything before that. I've never really known much about Kickstarter, but I was looking into it when I was considering how to make Pocketto, which is my one pocket binder. Let's see, I have one I can show. But this binder that I also have a video on my YouTube about, where I am trying to fund this, make it a reality, because as you guys can see, I love Pokemon and gotten very much into collecting, so that has taken quite a bit of time and energy. All to say that, you know, definitely there are times where I was like, oh, I'm just like really stressed, because I am stressed and whatnot, and I'm like, you know what, I don't think it's seasonal depression. I think I just have a lot on my plate, which can be true at the same time as maybe there was a little bit of some seasonal depression going on, especially since today. Oh my goodness, I feel like a completely different person, and it's actually been amazing. And I sat on my porch today. I got Wawa today, and I sat on my porch and just ate, and it was just so nice. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and cut all of these. And let me know if you guys want to know. I mean, I can show you if anyone's interested in doing them themselves. But this is a vinyl holographic sticker paper. I honestly found it on Amazon after looking actually quite a bit at options and how I wanted to do this. Some people print on, I think, transparent paper, and then they put a vinyl holographic over that, and that's worked for them. I tried that route, but I didn't love it. I've also seen people put it just on like regular sticker paper and then put a vinyl holographic coating over that. Still didn't love that as well, but that's just my preference. But so this is kind of what I found to be how I want my cards to look like. I'm also exploring some ways to get this professionally done as well. But I don't know how that is going to be yet. But in the meantime, I've been kind of just like impatient, and I just want to see these cards as reality. So that's why I kind of looked up how to do it myself. And there's like a lot of like different Reddits and people doing it all sorts of ways. But if you guys want to know what materials or whatever that I use, I can link it in this video. And I can also just, it's right here, I can show you the paper I use at least. I think it's this one. I came in this HTV RONT, but it says like printable vinyl sticker paper. Make sure mine's for inkjet and laser printers because I have an inkjet, so make sure you have it for that. It has a bunch of, I just honestly got it from Amazon, but it has a bunch of the information on the back. And then again, that's where I got it. That's the company. And then it looks like this. And it gives you again some more information. But that's the paper that I use. Now consider, so what works for me might not work for you, because I will say the one thing about this type of paper is it does kind of add, like, I mean, it's holographic, so you do want it to add kind of a metallic, but sometimes a little bit too gray of metallic. So it took me a little bit to kind of figure out what colors I think look good with what I want to do. So just keep that in mind, that it does kind of add a gray tinge, because you're printing it precisely on the paper. It does add a gray tinge to it. Also keep in mind that this paper is not waterproof. It is, you would have to do another probably laminate onto that. I have decided not to do that only because one second. Sorry. I decided not to do that because I am putting them in these perfect sleeves anyway, so that they look like this. And I think normal Pokemon cards aren't like waterproof, so I think if you're treating them kind of the same way, they don't necessarily need to be waterproof, because I'm not selling them as stickers. If I was selling them as stickers, I'd probably consider something different, but I am considering them as like a personal collecting type of custom card. So that's why I'm going with the method that I have been doing. Okay. As you can see, this kind of takes quite a while. Maybe I won't do all 4 sheets today, unless we're all like enjoying a nice candle. Then maybe I could. Let's see. Oh, you also have to be careful with this paper because it is a little fragile, as far as being a little easier, I think, to scratch or whatever. So I'm very careful handling it. Like, I actually might stop at this and start doing these, because I don't want them to keep piling onto each other. And it's like the smallest details, like if it does scratch, to be honest, but it bothers me, so I want to be very careful with it. But as you can see, like, this Applin and Gulpin is part of the round set that I'm doing. It's, again, the second set. The first set was kind of like traditional mythology or different like Japanese culture type of cards, like that one. Well, that one was just because I like Darumaru, but do I have any? But this was a famous fugu in Osaka, and I thought it'd be, and then obviously the quillfish are kind of like little fugu, so I did something like that together. And this is a torii gate, obviously, a Japanese torii gate, but those are just 2 examples. Okay, and I can show you how I put this on the card, which is really just, placing a sticker right on there. I found this to be so much easier than to do the whole sheet, because I know some people will like when they put the other laminate on here, like other people will print it onto normal sticker paper and then put holographic laminate over there. Oh my god, I was having such issues with bubbles and getting it right, and I felt like I was wasting so much materials that I just didn't want to go with it anymore. So I decided, I found this kind of little solution, and I've been very happy with it so far. slightly bigger than, like, it's very snug on the perfect sleeves. But maybe I should use the other ones. Yeah, I'm gonna have to use the other ones and take this one off. So I'm still trying to kind of figure out the perfect, like you can see there's a little extra here and there. And still trying to figure out what to print it as, the printing settings. So originally I was using these like perfect ones, which were 89 by 64, but for these ones I will use the 91 to 66, and this is the brand I use. So if you guys are interested in making any yourself, but they're cool. So I'm just gonna make a couple more. Anyone else a big fan of Gulpin and Applin? I remember really liking Gulpin as a kid, but because you don't really see much about him, you kind of, I kind of completely forgot about him. But as I was looking up round Pokemon to do for this series, I thought I found him again. I was like, oh my god, he is actually so freaking cute. And I was like, oh, I really want to make a card around him. And so what is difficult about this is kind of when you have them on, the stickers, you kind of have them on, because if you take it off, it does leave like a crease where it can get stuck, and this is a little alignment wise off, so I probably wouldn't sell this one, but I will go ahead and put it in the sleeve otherwise. But this might go to a friend if they are willing to enjoy, or I could make an oopsie bag and just, you know, be transparent. Like, this is a little, it's not perfect, but you know, I'm also hand doing these, so sometimes you're not going to be perfect. So I don't know, maybe people will be understanding about it, maybe not. Let me know what you guys would prefer. But sorry, 1 second. But this one is a little bit of a story, like a little series where Gulpin is starving. I do like purposely kind of include official moves that I get from the TCG, and I kind of mix and match them, so I don't think that these are like very well balanced, obviously, but I do take from the stats or moves or whatever, and then like the Pokédex like flavor text, I think it's called, or something, and well, they're like little Pokemon descriptions, and I will include them. So I found that Gulpin had one called Starvin, and I think that's funny because he sees an Applin, and then you kind of zoom in a little bit, and Applin has woken up, and he's like annoyed. So these are 2 promos that I decided to do. So actually, it's not, I wanted to do them as a set, and then I thought, well, it'd be weird to have a set like this in a set, so I think I made them promos, but I did research these for the little round set that I'm doing, but I thought that was cute. So just a little insight into the thought process. Okay. And this is the spiel. This is part of a little round. So okay, you can do that a little bit if it's not on enough. But this is where I really struggle the most. It's getting that right. Okay, that wasn't too bad. Nice. Oh, also here's the corner puncher, the rounder corner puncher that I use as well with these cards. And it's been working pretty well. I also use it to corner some of my business cards, as well as other signs and stuff like that, so. They're pretty good. That felt nice. Definitely start reaching a very fun, like, little flow state as you go about the process. So why I'm doing this, by the way, if it's not obvious, is just to make sure, like, I'm not fighting everything, sticking to the card. I just have to worry about this little area as I line everything up. I want it to be a lot easier. I also try and make sure it lines up as well as it can to this corner, and then I make sure it's straight that way, and that's how I'm the most successful, I think, with this. Oh, so nice. This spiel one took me actually quite a bit of time and energy trying to figure out how I would go about the Aurora Borealis. I did a lot of different iterations of it, and took me quite a bit to be happy, because I wanted to look like, I don't know, with vector art, which is the type of art style or the type of technique that I use with digital art, is not very, I don't know, it can be kind of hard to do something that looks like a light source or a light phenomenon, or whatever you call the Aurora Borealis. It's kind of hard to emulate that, but I actually use the water brushes in Adobe Fresco, and I played around a lot with the shapes. I don't know if I want it to be super like bendy like this, or if I want it to be more horizontal, or whatever it might be, but I'm really happy with how it turned out, and I think the snowflakes look great, especially with the holographic. I think they really pop against this really cool, like, watercolor Aurora Borealis, so that was really fun. Oh my goodness. Solosis? Oh my goodness, I can't even say it, but I really like the mitosis Pokemon. I think they're so cute, and I kind of discovered them when, like, discovered the Pokemon, when I started collecting. And I'm not gonna say started collecting again, because I actually never really collected Pokemon cards when I was younger. I was actually, sometimes this will happen, which, and I'll just take my scissors, maybe I'll just round it myself and just follow with that. Oh, no, okay, maybe we're gonna, okay, and probably, this is definitely gonna be an oopsie card that maybe, oh, that I probably will give to my friends, because they have been wanting some of my cards. And if they are okay with it, I will gladly give them a couple of my oopsies like these. Oh, I think I just made it worse. Okay, I just made that worse, but that's okay. It will go in my friend pile. But anyway, as I was saying, what was I saying? Oh, I discovered them. Oh, I collected Yu-Gi-Oh! And I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! And I traded Yu-Gi-Oh! And I was actually very obsessed with that as a kid. And I still have my Yu-Gi-Oh! Cards today. And I have a couple. I have a really, really awesome old Blue Eyes White Dragon. But it is so damaged. And it's actually, it's just really damaged. Like, I'm not talking about just like a lot of whitening. I'm talking about like creases galore. I'm talking about, I think it's taped up. But I do have that. I have an older Dark Magician as well, which those are the two OGs. I have a really cool Karibo. I really like Karibo. I'm gonna go ahead and do some of these back here. So I never really was it, but I did play the Pokemon games, and I really, my favorite is Sapphire. I really like Sapphire, and then also Emerald for all the like extra stuff afterwards, but Sapphire was a fantastic game. I loved it so much, and I still have it, and I will open it up every now and then. I'll play around with it some, but loved those Pokemon games. What else? Oh, also another thing to mention is, for whatever reason, my printer, I think I do have to clean it. I use it quite often, but it's been leaving these streaks only on the sides of this paper most of the time. I don't really have it with any of the paper, so maybe like I need to change my paper settings on the printer or something, but I am a little concerned about the black streaks. But the paper, by the way, the printer that I use is the Canon Pixma. I always forget if there's a P in there for some reason. The Pixma Pro 100. It's an older model. I got it 5-ish years ago or something. For like around, I think, 300. And I remember like that marked me becoming an becoming a small business owner, and marked my like artist journey as a small business. And I remember being over the moon when I started printing out my own things, and it was like so cool. So it's my baby, and it's lasted me all of this time, printing so many things, so many prints that I've taken to small conventions, large conventions, on a plane, traveling, at art festivals, outside, during horrible rain, coming with me to just about everywhere, So this printer has like gone through 3 or 4 moves in my life. I lived with my parents after college, which I'm sure is, a lot of people, right? I was unemployed for about a year and a half trying to find work as a graphic designer, and also was dealing with, I had just gotten diagnosed with a chronic illness, and I was working, or I wasn't working, I was trying to figure all of that out. I waitressed for 4 or 5 months at this really amazing Japanese restaurant. They're called Musashi's in Bucks County. Look them up. They're amazing. I really, really love the food there. And so I did that for a while, and then was lucky enough to get a job at the Japanese embassy as their graphic designer, and I spent a few years there. Which was a great experience. I helped design a exhibit there called Hiroshige's like influence on social media. And it was a really fun exhibit. Okay, I didn't cut that great, so this is probably also going to be an oopsies. I love how I cut that. So, if I still want to make it, I don't want to just throw away the card. I don't want to waste it if possible. What was even my point of talking about that, though? I honestly don't remember. But I want to talk about these cards in a second once I can concentrate. So this is a little cascoon. This is part of the set, the second set, 5 out of 12. I have about 6 done of the 12. I might do another gulping card. I don't know. I mean, that's separate from the one that I just showed you, because I actually think Gulpin's really, really fucking cute. And I kind of want to see him have more cards, so I might just do that and just think of another inspiring thing with him. Another inspiring little theme, I guess. Like this one, the little Applin one, was inspired, like him trying to eat the Applin was inspired by, like, you know, different stories. Or different cards that, like, tell a story, or different, like, perspectives and stuff like that. So, and also I think it's jerky, I think, it might not be jerky, but, one of the Gulpin official full art, I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about, but he's eating a cake, and I love that card. I thought that card was so cool, and I picked it up at a local card show that I went to probably a couple months now, and oh my gosh, I love him so much. So that's like him eating. I mean, he's Gulpin, so he's always probably gonna be eating something in his cards, right? But, like, you know, in his themed cards, but that's kind of what I was thinking about when I made my cards, you know, my little Gulpin card up there. But I thought it'd be kind of want to make another one. Maybe, I don't know. I feel like he still should be eating something like gigantic and opening his mouth real big. But I don't know what would be. I feel like there's nothing that can top the cake one. Ooh, that's not gonna line up correctly. Oh. Okay, that also didn't. I didn't line that up very well on this side, so this is definitely going to one of my friends if they would like it. And so, yeah, and if it doesn't line up correctly, I get sometimes those errors trying to cut them. So, I would not feel right necessarily selling this. So, it will be a gift to any of my lovely, lovely friends who support me every single day. Okay. And then I did a silcoon because cascoon and silcoon are obviously related and you can't do one without the other. These are probably, this is probably my favorite cards that I've made, I think, up to this point, and I'll show you why. Because I did a couple of, I don't know if I would say new techniques, but a couple of like new things in this that I have not traditionally incorporated. But for one, you probably guys have already seen, but they connect, and I thought that that was really fun. I made one very folly, and then I made the other one have like ginkgo leaves, but they connect, and they also, if you guys look, they even connect with these like Japanese cloud motifs. If you look closely, they even connect there, which was like, took quite a lot of trial and error trying to figure out how to do that and then print it out as well. And then you can see like the dots kind of mirror each other, and I don't know, I thought this was really, really fun, and I love the colors. That's new. So I did, besides, I think the only other place that I do that, use this watercolor blending, is with the Aurora Borealis. I did it, but besides that, I did it for the backgrounds here, and I think that they just look so cool and lovely with the holographic. So very happy with that. And I also technically, like, so I gave him Iron Defense and Poison Sting, and I gave her or him Ascension and Sticky String because technically their branch is higher. So I thought that could be just kind of cute, and I both gave them because he turns into a poison type. So I thought that'd be kind of fun. So go. Are there any Pokemon that you guys would want to see maybe in my style? Because I'm definitely open to hearing ideas of what you guys would like to see, but I also really like a lot of Vogo guys that end up getting ignored because I think they're so derpy and they're so cute, and I wish they had more full art cards. So, but I like Gengar and I like Charizard a lot, so I definitely have quite a bit of the like overrated Pokemon, but you know, they're overrated for a reason, you know. At least that's what I think. So okay. Let me switch out my lights real quick. I'm running out of energies cards, so I might stop. But I need to go get more of those. But let me know how you guys feel about this little art hangout where I just kind of do what I do every day at my business. I mean, I obviously don't make cards like this every single day, but I do artsy stuff every single day. I would love to make cards like this every single day, but there's a lot of other stuff involved in the business that warrants my attention. Like, just earlier today, I did talk to 2 tax people, and I contacted them to try and kind of understand my tax situation a bit more. Especially since I have started a YouTube channel, and if I ever am successful to get a little bit of money from YouTube, I mean, that would be great, but I want to, I guess, be prepared if that were to ever happen, just understand the implications there. But also, if I don't, then at least I feel like I'm trying to do my due diligence with that. Okay, so this is the most recent one that I've done, and I thought it'd be cute to make it into a trainer card instead of like choosing one of the Pokemon. But to support, it's called Your Choice, and then I made the little description. Start your journey in the land of wind and waves by picking your first partner. Grass type Grout, fire type Palmbon, or water type Gekua. But I thought that'd be cute. Which one are you guys excited about? I like the water lizard, which I normally don't go for water. I normally go for grass and fire. Like, I had Infernape, I had Blaziken, I had Sceptile, I had Superior. I'm probably not saying his name right, but the snake one, that's Snivy, and then goes up. And then, what was the other one? I know I definitely had other Pokemon. I played a lot of Pokemon games. Oh, I did have the Poplio from Sun and Moon, I believe, which she turns into. Oh my god. Primarina. I did choose her, and she was, I think, my first water type ever that I chose. But I liked her. I tend to choose my starter Pokemon from their 3rd evolution, looks like, since I get sentimentally attached to my Pokemon and I want to keep them throughout my entire playthrough. And for the most part, if I'm going to keep them through the entire playthrough, I do evolve them. So in my head, I'm like, oh, I need to like their final evolution, because if I don't, then I'm kind of just like, I'm not stuck with them, but like, you know, if I don't love their final evolution, then it's kind of like a little not as satisfying, I guess. I don't know, but so I tend to pick based off that, even though, like, for instance, I love Litten over Poplio, and oh my god, I cannot even think of the Grass Star in Sun and Moon, but I think, like, Litten blows my mind. But I do not like the wrestler Pokemon. Incineroar. I'm not the biggest fan of that, so that's why I didn't choose Litten. What do you guys think? How do you guys choose your star Pokemon? Do you guys keep your star Pokemon for, like, the entire playthrough? Because I know some people don't, and I think that's crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's not, but I can't imagine that. I don't know. But, I mean, yeah, like, it makes sense. Like, play however you like, right? But I've never, ever even thought of like not having. Okay, I'm gonna do one of these because I only have 3 more, and she's up here. I've never even thought of not having my star Pokemon with me, so just curious if any crazies out there right now that do that. Okay. Oh, I just thought about this, but I said my favorite Pokemon game was Sapphire, right? Wrong. Because I just thought about what actually is the best, the absolute best Pokemon game out there is Pokemon XD Gale of Darkness. And if you have not played that, oh my god, y'all need to, because it is so good. I think you can emulate it, because it is for GameCube, originally came out for GameCube, but I think there are some really good emulators out there, and oh my god, that is so bad, Olivia. Okay, even if it's, see, yeah, like this, like, see, there's like no creases, but I won't give that to my friends. I'd rather be a little bit better oriented than that. Okay, even that's better. Okay, that's fine, I think. Actually, you don't really. No, there is a little crease. Okay. Sometimes, once in a while, very rarely, like, there might not be a crease if I was able to do it well, but there's a time there. So that's definitely. But I think that looks a lot better, even with the like slight crease, like you can see it in the light. I'd rather give this to my friends than it being slanted like that, personally. But anyway, Gale of Darkness is what I 100% recommend everyone to play. That is the best game. And then on the note, I also think, I feel like you can choose between an Umbreon and an Espeon, and I did always choose Umbreon, even though I love Espeon too, but I couldn't help it. I loved Umbreon, and I also always tried to get that Teddy Ursa, and in one playthrough, I didn't get the Teddy Ursa, and I was so upset, but for some reason, I loved the Teddy Ursa so much, and I loved evolving her into an Ursaring as well. So, even though I wouldn't say I love Teddy Ursa or Ursaring in general, but that Teddy Ursa had a very special place in my heart. Perfect. There we go. So, I've run out of cards in order to put these stickers on, so I think I'm going to end it here, but just wanted to show you all the ones, besides the couple of mess-ups that we had, what we did. So just to recap, we made quite a few of these, quite a few Silcoons, Cascoon, the Spiel, the Gulpin, the Solus, cannot say it very well. There we go. And that is all for our art hangout. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I hope you enjoy. Let me know if you like these. There's a bunch of other different creative stuff that I can show you. I can make more of these in general and show you what I'm working on, but there's a lot of stuff I do behind the scenes, like packing wholesale orders, or like even, oh my goodness, like obviously like the actual drawing, designing, but there's a lot that I could show you maybe. So let me know if any of that interests you. And thanks for watching. Bye!